What's up, guys? It's O'Neal Thomas, and you're watching Shifter. Acting is what I aspired to be from a very young age. I found that love at the third grade. So when I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, I want to be an actor," she's like, "That's adorable. So when are you gonna be a lawyer or a doctor?" So I definitely got the Caribbean parent treatment firsthand. In the world of what I do in the entertainment industry, it's very easy to kind of always be known as, oh, like you're the funny friend, or like you're the friend I can always go to for a good laugh. A lot of those times, I want to say 90, almost 99.9% of those times, your funniest friends are going through a lot of mental health issues.
All right, yes, sir. It is your boy Kevin Bourne, also known as KB the Boss for Shifter, and I'm here with someone who's been killing it in the whole world of online content creation. Let me just read off a few points here. He is a Paterson, New Jersey native, creator and fashion icon. 3.5 billion followers on TikTok, and was named one of Instagram's creators of tomorrow for 2024. Big accomplishments. We have the one and only O'Neal Thomas. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me, man.
I mean, I have a lot of questions. Obviously, there's a lot of accomplishments. I want to kind of want to go back though. Like, how did you? I was reading your bio, the fact that family is so big for you. Like, how? Like, just kind of just talk about your upbringing and like how your family has kind of contributed to, where you are right now with your success.
Yeah, so my parents, they're Jamaican. They came in from this country
Hey,
years ago, and I've witnessed firsthand seeing how hard they work, how hard my mom works, just in general, just to kind of make sure that we had everything that we needed. Not so much what we wanted. She would always work harder to get what we wanted, but she just made sure that we had a roof over our head, meals in our bellies, and everything. So witnessing such hard work with very little really motivated me and really driven me to be able to provide and give back as much as I can. So it kind of stemmed from seeing all that hard work. And I was like, you know what, I'm really inspired by them and I want to be able to do something like this so I can give back to them the way they've been giving back to me.
now, knowing Caribbean parents, they have sometimes these lofty expectations of like maybe you'll end up in finance or medicine or something. Your education is very very important. Like, what was your parents' reaction to you just wanting to be a content creator?
I think so. Funny enough, so acting is what I aspired to be from a very young age. I found that love at the third grade. So when I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, I want to be an actor," she's like, "That's adorable. So when are you gonna be a lawyer or a doctor?" So I definitely got the Caribbean parent treatment firsthand. And at first, they were really hesitant because it's something that they're not really experienced with. They're not used to kind of seeing that be a reality, let alone a sustainable reality. So they met that with a lot of pushback until they realized that I was not stopping. They were like, we can't get this kid to like go anywhere else. He keeps coming back for this years later. So after a lot of hard work and results coming from that, and them seeing me on like TV screens and everything, and they're like, wow, okay, so he knows what he's doing, and they're now like nurturing that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So when did the whole fashion part come in? Because fashion is a big part of who you are, what you do. Like, when did that love or for fashion kind of start?
Dude, oh my God. I've always had a love for fashion, especially like men's fashion. I think just from a young age, I would see red carpets and I would see like the Met Gala and everything. And I just love being able to see like clothing be able to tell a story, seeing so many different structures and designs. And I'm like so drawn to that. It's kind of like costuming for like shows in a store. Like whenever we're watching like a good Broadway show and then somebody just comes out with a crazy cool piece, you just can't stop looking at it. So I've always had a love for it. I didn't really know where to start up until I kind of got older and I've been able to kind of play around more with shapes and designs and everything. And it's been so much fun since.
So are you styling, or are you actually like do you sew, or are you kind of like
Oh God,
hands
I
on?
wish. No, I am. I'm styling myself. I'm finding pieces from different brands, designers that I can, and just seeing if I can put stuff together.
Hmm. Now
Yeah,
you recently appeared at New York Fashion Week.
I did. I
So what was that
did.
experience? Now, first of all, was that your first experience with it, and what was that like for you being at such a big iconic event?
God, it was my first ever fashion week ever, and it was beautiful chaos, and I think that's the best way I can put it. I've always heard word from friends and anyone else around talking about how hectic fashion week could be, so I definitely met with that kind of going into it. I'm like, okay, I know I have a lot of things coming up, and I know it's gonna be crazy, but I'm just gonna go in with my best fashion foot forward and just have a good time and be as present as possible. So it was crazy, but once we finally got to sit down and enjoy the shows, oh my God, I was blown away blown
Mhm.
away.
In your element?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Now, aside from fashion, like mental health is also, big for you as well. Can you just talk about that? Like, how, why mental health, or how mental health ended up becoming such an important topic for you?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I feel like in the world of what I do in the entertainment industry, it's very easy to kind of always be known as, oh, like you're the funny friend, or like you're the friend I can always go to for a good laugh. A lot of those times, I want to say 90, almost 99.9% of those times, your funniest friends are going through a lot of mental health issues. I've had my spin with a lot of like depression, anxiety, and things of that nature that stemmed from childhood that has kind of evolved as I've grown into the man that I am today. So I always try my best to make sure that I remind my platform, my followers, anyone around me, my family, my friends, to always check in with yourself. You only have you. So I always want to make sure that you're good. If you're not good, that's okay. Take a day, take 2 days if you can, but always take time to learn yourself, speak to yourself, and come back.
It's so true that like a lot of the people that are the funniest people, like I mean, Robin Williams is a prime example.
Yeah.
Made millions of people laugh, but he was struggling in private, and I see that so much in the industry where it's like the people who are the ones that make other people laugh sometimes are the ones that are having those dark moments. So it's pretty interesting, and it's nice that you're kind of raising this because in the Black community, like I think we're talking more about mental health now, but in the
Yeah.
past, it was always something that our community didn't talk about enough, and still don't talk about enough. But I think it's important that you are kind of bringing
Like,
that topic to the forefront.
for sure. I definitely feel like there is no taboo needed to be involved with it. It definitely has stemmed with like a taboo thing, like, oh, your mental is fine. You're able to think and breathe, and that's enough. But it's important. A lot of our choices are made mentally. We make the which step we're gonna make first. We do those choices in our head first. So it's really important to just nurture ourselves and our mental health just as much as physical.
Hmm. Now let's pivot to talk about one of your recent accomplishments. You were one of Instagram's creators of tomorrow for 2024, as reported by Teen Vogue. What was that like? Just to get that kind of that nod from Instagram.
It was a dream come true. It was really insane to say the very least. Super unexpected. And when I got that like achievement, I just felt like what I was doing was right. It was definitely a moment for me to finally sit down because in this world, it's very fast paced and it's like, okay, I did one video, what's the next? What's the next? I'm always thinking about the next. So when I was able to be like recognized for such a huge accomplishment like that, it allowed me to actually sit down with myself and be like, dude, you did it. Like you're doing it. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back, and what you're doing is right, keep going. So it was a huge, huge accomplishment for me.
Obviously, with the amount of followers you have
Yeah.
on different platforms, like you've done a good job of connecting with people. Like, what is the secret? Like, when it comes to just the ability to connect with people and resonate with people?
Integrity. I always lead with integrity. I want to make sure that I'm proud of what I'm producing and putting out first. And because of that, I'm able to share that with the right community of people who also love what I do. I know everyone has their own kind of tastes, so I'm happy to be able to create what I thoroughly enjoy and it spreads to the right people. And that's just like easy back and forth communicating with my followers that way.
Mhm. Yeah, I was reading that for you, like authenticity is a big thing. So I guess that really, in a sense, is authenticity.
You can definitely tell in the span of this new medium that is social media and content creating that there are a lot of people who go into it for the wrong reasons. And I mean, because I've been doing it for such a long time, I've been doing this since I was a kid. It's like you kind of understand, okay, like you're kind of here for like a quick cash grab or you're here for something else, but I can tell that this isn't your passion. You don't really care too much for storytelling. So when you find people who do love it for the purpose of storytelling, you can tell that it's easier for them to connect with their followers that way.
Hmm. Yeah,
So.
I mean, I think authenticity is also important because, like, I think for a lot of people that when they approach content creation, they try to maybe have like a image of perfection of like,
Mhm.
and without that sense of authenticity, and then it starts to feel like a chore. It starts to feel like something that is, taking away from you instead of something that you're using to give back to people. So.
For sure. For me, like with creating as well, it's like it stemmed from acting. I fell in love with acting in the third grade. So as soon as I like got the acting bug, I just kept going. And whenever I wasn't auditioning, I was literally creating. I was like in my house, like typing like scripts out and just filming stuff, putting myself in characters and everything. And it stemmed from that love. So I'm able to kind of do the best of both worlds, which is why it just comes so naturally for me.
Mhm. Are you still auditioning and kind of looking for parts and all that kind of stuff?
Doing the whole thing. I just finished up. I just, funny enough, had an audition last week, and I got to meet with a network, which was really cool, like without any legal issues arising. It was
Nice.
really fun, and I have some cool stuff coming up for that. So I love it. I definitely see myself being on TV screens in the future again. So I'm just doing what I got to do.
That's amazing. Um, Now I was reading that you, when you're not creating content, you like sitting down with your favorite kind of comfort TV show, comfort
Mm.
film. What are your go-tos? Like when you're kind of in that mood, like say Friday night, you have nothing going on, you're trying to just veg out. Like what are you watching?
Oh my God, Abbott Elementary, dude.
Okay.
That is my favorite show of like all time. Every episode's a banger. I love Abbott Elementary. I love what Quinta's been doing with that show. What else? I love Squid Game. I know that just came out, and I'm so excited for the third season coming out in
Mhm.
June, which is super quick. I've been really into like true crime stuff, Shameless, a lot of like cool like ensemble TV show characters where you could just live vicariously through so many different ones, you know?
Mhm. Well, I mean, it would be dope to see you on an episode of Abbott Elementary one day.
I mean,
You
I'm here. I
know,
just got the
like,
headshots in. I'm excited. I'm ready. I got my team with me. I'm ready to go.
yeah. And what about music? You seem like you might be a music guy. Well, like if you like when you're trying to sit down and just kind of like vibe, what are you putting on?
Man, so lately I've been really into Doechii. I mean, Doechii,
Mm,
actually, not lately, that was a lie. I've known about Doechii for such a long time, but her recent work, Alligator Bites Over Heel, has been just so monumental, and I'm just so proud of her and her artistry and how she's just so like unafraid to just stand out and be bold. It's super inspiring. So I've been really into Doechii, and of course, album of the year, man, Carboy Carter. Can't go wrong. I've been listening to
okay.
that nonstop.
Okay, it's funny that I actually have I skimmed through it. Let me.
Yeah,
I won't say I didn't listen to it yet, but I did skim through it. But yeah,
yeah,
Beyonce is always a legend.
for sure.
Are you since your background's Jamaican, are you into like any dance hall? Are you into like island vibes at all?
Well, lately, I've been getting into Afro beats and dancehall for sure. My mom, she's like puts me on to as much as she can, and I was able to take her to Jamaica for her birthday, and that was just like it was a dream come true because we haven't been able to go in like over 17 years. It's been a very long time, and life happens, and just I'm very happy and blessed I've been able to kind of get to a point where I'm able to get back to her. And one of the things I wanted to do for her was bring her back to her home country. So we got to do that. I got to take her back to Jamaica. We went there and it was just everything we needed and more. The music, the food, it was just all good vibes, good vibes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And before we go, looking ahead, like where do you like kind of where do you see your career going, say in the next like 5 years or so?
For sure. I definitely still auditioning. I mean, I am still doing the thing. I'm working with a lot of indie directors, and I'm just super excited to see where my career goes in that direction, as well as for comedy and creating. I am actually in the works of writing my own kind of show in a sense where I love to kind of go do like a mini tour, like a little comedy show, and try that out, do some material because I've done stand up and it was a lot of fun. I've always had really good feedback afterwards, but since creating has been super busy for my schedule, I'm making time now. So I'm writing some stuff out to hopefully put out a cool like little tour end of this year, early next year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And last but not least, like, do you have any advice for people? Say, a lot of people are trying to create content, but maybe it's not going well. It's not hitting. Do you have advice for just the content creators who are trying to get where you are, but and they've started, but
Mhm.
things maybe aren't resonating or hitting how they'd like?
I say continue to put your best version of you forward. I think at the end of the day, we're constantly consuming people we'd want to be like, we'd want to aspire like, and we keep forgetting that they're their own individual person and you're your own individual person. So keep your heart, keep your integrity in mind when you're creating all the content. I guarantee you someone's going to see it. I mean, when I first started out, my very first video, which I thought was going to be a banger, it flopped really bad. Nobody watched it, but I kept watching it and I kept laughing every time. So as long as you love what you're doing and as long as you're laughing, if you're feeling what you hope you were able to deliver from that, your job is done and the right people will follow you. So
Yeah. Do you remember that first moment where when it's like you're creating and it's not working, and then that moment where it kind of like it just do you remember do you remember that moment where it just started
absolutely.
to resonate, and
It
like
happens overnight.
what that feeling like, what was that feeling like?
It happens overnight. It went from for me, the feeling was it was like no other because it was like a moment of finally. You get what I'm saying? Like I was when I first started back in 2020 creating on TikTok, I was making funny videos here and there that I loved. I thought it was funny, but I guess it didn't hit the right people yet. So when it finally happened, a few like months later, and I'm starting to see that traction, it was just so exciting. I think the best word I could put was just it's exciting because people are now seeing you, they're learning you. I'm able to connect with them in the comments, and they're just learning more about you, and it became this huge snowball effect.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's very very inspiring to see you kind of to look at the journey of where you started and where you are right now. Yeah, that's it. Just thank you so much for your time, man, and we definitely will be looking out to see your first appearance on Abbott Elementary. We're
Oh
speaking
man,
we're speaking that
I
into
appreciate
existence. But yeah,
no.
we're very yeah just very proud of what you've been doing and looking forward to seeing you continue to shine in the industry.
Thank you so much, Kevin. You've been awesome, man.